going, everybody? I'm the best there is, the best of what the best ever will be. There, but none before me, there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jay Kofi, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got an action-packed week this week with your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown Raw reviews, and then we go into a review of Judgment Day 2006. We then have a reading from your Book of Rules, your drink of the week, followed by the Battle Droid of the week. Let's get into the news this week, though. Is WWE planning a huge match for WrestleMania 40 of a mask versus hair match? Apparently, as that might be a plan for Dominic and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 40. I would actually really like to see that match. I think they could really pull it off and lead to a great match between the two. They had an awesome match at WrestleMania 39, in my opinion. I know some people didn't like it. I did. So I would like to see that. I would actually really like to see this. And the ratings have been revealed for last night's Tuesday Night War, as NXT came away with the win with over 900,000 viewers, while AEW Dynamite came away with just 600,000. Now, there were maybe 9,000 more to each number. I'm just rounding down, so that way it's easier. But WWE pulled off the win in the ratings. Does it really matter? Who gives a fuck? AEW is going to move back to Wednesdays. NXT is going to stay on Tuesdays. People were saying they loaded it with main roster stars. Again, who cares? It's just ratings, man. You know, if you enjoy wrestling, enjoy wrestling. That's all I'm going to say about that until maybe later in the show. Wink, wink. And finally, has there been two huge turns in the CM Punk storyline? Apparently, Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling and Sean Ross Sapp have said that they have talked to sources in WWE. It hasn't been confirmed, but CM Punk is not returned. They are not reaching out to CM Punk to return to the company. With then CM Punk posting on Instagram that his fists are taped up, he has his X ready to go, and guess what? There's some blood on him for War Games. I don't know what to believe. I don't know where this is going. You know, WWE is teasing it, USA is teasing it, but all the wrestling journals say it's not happening. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. If he returns awesome. If not, man, we could live without it. You know, it's not the end-all, be-all. Nothing is the end-all, be-all in wrestling. So, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Ugh. But that's the news for this week. Let's go on to SmackDown as I pull up my notes to make sure nothing goes wrong. SmackDown kicked off with the best of all time, John Cena, calling out Roman Reigns, says he already knows who the GOAT is, and it's Roman Reigns. He actually acknowledged Roman Reigns, but he said he's not here to challenge him for Crown Jewel, someone else is. L.A. Knight. Yeah, LA Knight came out, and he is officially challenging Roman Reigns for Crown Jewel. It was announced that later on that night, we will get Solo Sikoa in the main event versus LA Knight. Yeah. We then get Pretty Deadly with them making their return to the ring versus the Brawling Brutes after, I believe, it was Elton who got hurt. I'm trying to remember who. I believe it was Elton. Got hurt from the Brawling Brutes of Ridge Holland, who injured him. So this was kind of a cool match to bring back. The Pretty Deadly would pick up the win with some shenanigans of faking an injury and then holding Ridge Holland down for the pin. We then get Carlito's interview return to the company. It's awesome to see him. Apparently, the reason this return took so long was WWE thought they had heat with Carlito. Carlito thought he had heat in WWE, and no one really talked. It's pretty funny to think that one. But he was attacked by Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which was broken up by Adam Pearce. We then get Bayley versus Selena Vega. Bayley was able to pick up the win. Bayley kept attacking Zelina after the match, which led Charlotte Flair to make the save. So next week it will be Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky for the Women's Championship. We then get Triple H coming out to make a huge announcement. What's his huge announcement? Adam Pearce will now be the general manager of Monday Night Raw. But what does that mean for SmackDown? Wait, there's someone in the corner. Oh my god. The new general manager of SmackDown, Nick Aldis. This makes for a little interesting dynamic if Cody Rhodes ends up challenging Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. Because don't forget, it was Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It was also then announced, as Dominic Mysterio came out to cause some shit, that it would be the new man on SmackDown is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens came out, hit Dom with a stunner, and is now officially on SmackDown. We then get Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defending their championships against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Nice little match. They were able to pick up the win. There was no question. We then get LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. It was a fun match. Unfortunately, Roman Reigns would get involved, and Roman Reigns would hit a vicious spear. Literally split him from his head to his ass on that spear. That on LA Knight. It was unfucking believable. What a spear. It was a very cool SmackDown. Definitely had its moments. Cool for Carlito as well. Awesome to see Carlito back. Awesome to see Roman Reigns hit that back and have a feud with LA Knight. Thought that was a cool one. But now with it back, what does that mean for the season premiere of Monday Night Raw? Well, stupid shit went down, as I forgot to say this. A fan got arrested during Rhea Ripley's entrance. I don't know what happened. It doesn't say why he was arrested. He just got arrested. And also, Michael Cole would miss his third ever show for WWE, as he was apparently had a personal matter to deal with. I'm not going to go into anything else. Personal life stays personal and wrestling made simple. We get Sami Zayn kicking off Monday Night Raw, talking about how Kevin Owens is on to SmackDown. And Judgment Day would come out to attack Sami, which led to Jey Uso making the save. We then get what I believe is honestly the match of the night. And people are giving it shit, but I thought it was awesome, and I love these two having a feud. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Shinsuke would pick up the win after pushing Ricochet off the top turnbuckle into a table for the 1, 2, 3. We then get Piper Niven versus Natalya. Natalya would lose the match as Piper Niven. This match was okay. It's just to show the strength of Piper. Chelsea Green and Piper would then attack Natalya, which would lead to Tegan making the save. So maybe this is your next tag team feud. We then get Seth Rollins coming to ring to cut a promo talking about how he is going to beat Drew McIntyre at Crown Jewel, but has Drew McIntyre enlisted the help of the Judgment Day. Apparently that's what he believes, but Drew McIntyre says he doesn't need to be anyone, doesn't need anyone's help, and that he will beat Seth Rollins. We then get Ludwig Kaiser versus Johnny Gargano. Awesome to see DIY back. I don't agree with this booking decision, though, as they would lose to Ludwig Kaiser. Johnny Gargano would lose to Ludwig Kaiser. Giovanni Vinci would almost cost Kaiser the match, but Kaiser was able to fight back. I really want to see DIY pushed into the main event of the tag team division. We then get a match between Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler, which would end DQ as Nia Jax would get involved, then Raquel Rodriguez, and then Zoe Starks. This would lead to Adam Pearce later on in the show making a fatal 5-way match for Crown Jewel. Again, people are shitting on this. I don't know why. It could be a fun match. You know what? It covers... A fatal 5-way allows people to cover for their shortcomings and really show what they can do as well as they can. Just my opinion. We then get Gunther versus Bronson Reed in another great match. Gunther was able to retain, but this was just a big hoss fight. Good match, fun match. Gunther would pick up the win. Just hard hitting, big power bombs, tsunamis, anything you could hope to happen happened in this match. Very good match. We then get your main event of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defending their titles against the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day would win the titles. After Cody Rhodes would be taken out by the Judgment Day with a Razor's Edge through the table. I still love that Damian Priest is doing that. If there's anyone who should do it, it is Damian Priest. I don't know why. It just feels right. We would get Damian Priest throwing Cody Rhodes through a table. Looked like Jey Uso would pick up the win with an Uso splash. But you would have Jey Uso get pushed off the top rope by Jimmy Uso showing up on Monday Night Raw. So I imagine that's going to lead to like a War Games type of scenario for SmackDown. They're going to say, SmackDown fired the first shot, and then it's going to lead to the Invasion storylines. And then we're going to get Survivor Series War Games. But Judgment Day win the tag team titles and are now tag team champions. This Raw was full of great matches, and then moments you're like, that was kind of stupid. Some of the promos were good, but you didn't need a lot of them. But some of the matches were amazing. I will go to the Gunther Bronson Reed. I really enjoyed the Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a fun Raw. If I had to give it a grade, B-, right in the middle. Thought it was good, not great. I believe it's time to go into a classic pay-per-view review of Judgment Day 2006 in honor of the Judgment Day winning their tag team titles. It kicked off with a dark match between Matt Hardy and Simon Dean. And if you need to Google the name Simon Dean, don't worry, I did too. That is someone who I can't really remember. Apparently he was a member of the BWO. Matt Hardy would pick up the win. Not much is known about this match. Not even a time on Wikipedia. We then get Brian Kendrick and Paul London versus Eminem for the Tag Team Championships. Nice 13-minute tag team match. It was fun. Brian Kendrick and Paul London would pick up the win. It would lead to Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro turning on each other and starting a feud with each other, which would actually last for a little while and would actually be mentioned in Lucha Underground when they would have the Taya Johnny Mundo wedding of Joey Mercury would show up. So that was awesome. You then get Chris Benoit versus Finlay in a singles match. Apparently Chris Benoit was cost a match by Finlay for the King of the Ring. So you would have Chris Benoit challenge Finlay to a match here. Chris Benoit would pick up the win with the crossface over Finlay. Nice little match. All I'll say about it. Try not to mention too much. We then get Jillian Hall versus Melina in a singles match. It was women's wrestling in 2006. It wasn't too much. Jillian Hall would pick up the win. We would then get Gregory Helms versus Super Crazy in a 9-minute match, but one I really enjoyed. Gregory Helms would retain his title, but Gregory Helms and Super Crazy actually, when you think about it, if they're given a 20-minute time in their primes, that could be an awesome match. We then get Mark Henry versus Kurt Angle in a singles match. I forgot this was even a feud. But you know what? It was fun. Kurt Angle would lose this match via countout to Mark Henry. Definitely a weird time in WWE I couldn't think of a time where Mark Henry would be a bigger star than Kurt Angle, but here we are. And don't get me wrong, Mark Henry is one of my, I will say this till the day I die, one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Big guy doing big things, and I always loved it. We then get Booker T versus Bobby Lashley for the King of the Ring finals. This would be Booker T winning the King of the Ring, beating Bobby Lashley with a scissors kick, and becoming King Booker. This would lead to Queen Sharmell, which actually gave Sharmell rise to enter the Hall of Fame last on WrestleMania 38 weekend. And you would have Booker T become King Booker, and you would have him actually win his only WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So this match right here gave rise to Booker T's only WWE World title. So it's fun to look back on this match and be like, yeah, this is what caused it. This is the moment King Booker was born. We then have the Great Khali versus The Undertaker. This was them pushing Great Khali to the moon because he was such a huge guy. He's too tall not to push. We gotta push him, and his in-ring style was terrible. Now, I want to say this. Great Khali as an actor is awesome and hilarious. In Get Smart, he was one of the best parts of the movie, and I loved him, and he was the reason I wanted a sequel for that movie. Him punching Siegfried out of the car was always hilarious. So, thought that was always funny. But as a wrestler, nothing great. This would be before his World Heavyweight Championship run, and he would beat The Undertaker here in 8 minutes. The less said about this match, the better. We then get the World Championship defended by Rey Mysterio versus JBL. Fun feud, actually, to look back on with JBL. Basically, his career started as JBL of him guarding the border from Mexicans coming in. So, yeah. Rey Mysterio would pick up the win. This would be after WrestleMania 22. And Rey Mysterio defending his title for Eddie. Very cool to see Rey Mysterio have this run. Even though it wasn't the greatest of all time, his feud with JBL would be alright. It would be an alright match. It wouldn't be anything great. But Rey Mysterio would pick up the win with the frog splash for Eddie. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio retains in a 15-minute match. This pay-per-view isn't memorable. It isn't terrible. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just meh. C+ at best. C at the worst at times. It came from U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona. It attends of 14,000 with a buy rate of 252,000 people. It would come next from ECW One Night Stand, where, yeah, let's just say that one way outshined it. If anyone wants to know the reason, Rob Van Dam, WWE Championship, enough said. I could use a drink. How about some liquid Brickfast? Some cinnamon whiskey. 1 part cinnamon whiskey, 1 part butterscotch schnapps, and 1 part orange juice. Add to a shaking, add ice, pour in your cinnamon whiskey, then your schnapps, then your orange juice. Shake well, strain to a shot glass, and guess what? You got breakfast in a glass. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States, and do not overconsume on alcohol. Let's see. A reading from the Book of Rules. With the deepest regrets and tears, shocked, I am sorry, your dad finally croaked. He had a full life and his own tears. Soon he'll be buried and eaten by worms. But if 9 could have a son as stupid as you, I would wish to be dead too. The Big Boss Man. To Big Show. A reading from the Book of Rules. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. I hinted at earlier, Bowdroid of the Week is the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. People should be better. This is why no one looks on wrestling favorably. No one likes us because of shit like this. Listen, like what you... In the words before he went a bit... He became the AEW guy that he is now. And I'm not bashing him for it because he likes it. It's what he likes. Like what you like, don't be a dick. From Wrestling with Regret. I love that line because you know what? I like all kinds of music. If I like country, you could like hip-hop. If I like hip-hop, you could like country, you could like rock, you could like whatever the fuck you want. If you like AEW, love AEW. You like WWE, love WWE. If you like both, love both. But now we have wrestling fans threatening each other. We have these idiots saying, fuck the other guys because they like what they like. We're turning into politicians, man. And this is bullshit. I hate it. So, Internet Wrestling Community, we need to get our shit together. Otherwise, we'll always be viewed as those idiots. For that, you're the Bowdroid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I have been the Big Guy. This has been Wrestling Made Simple. I hope you enjoyed this week. Next week, we will move on with some classic pay-per-view reviews, as I have already reviewed every crown jewel ever. Have a great week in wrestling. Thank you very much for listening. Good night.